Hey there, Hope Zvara here, and I'm here to take you through a shoulder release. So we're going to be working with a foam roller today in a couple unique postures. So if you have a foam roller, ideally you want to be working with a softer foam roller, so hopefully not your super high density roller or the roller with the big tractor tires on it. Sometimes less is more, and in this case it's definitely going to be so. So you're watching this video if you find that when you lift your arm up overhead, you seem to always hit the brick wall in your shoulder. Now, what you might come to find is that it's really not the shoulder here, it's not really that issue, but rather what's happening in the underarm carriage. So we're going to assess pec minor, we're going to assess tress major and minor, which kind of align right alongside of the shoulder or the scapula, as well as our lat attachment. So latissimus dorsi comes up, around, attaches into the humerus bone. So we're going to try to assess all of this as well as the fascia through the underarm to hopefully give you some relief that you're looking for. All right, so with your foam roller, I like to use the edge of the foam roller. A lot of times we always roll in the middle, and in the middle kind of gets soft, so the edges are still somewhat nice and firm. Lay yourself onto your side, and we're going to cup over the foam roller, and then leaning our body into that foam roller, you're going to roll out your underarm carriage. So I'm rolling through what you'd call the armpit, and then rolling down through the rib cage. So kind of the part of your body if you tan, which if you do, I hope you use sunscreen, doesn't get a whole lot of sunlight. All right, so as you roll through there, you can adjust your body weight depending on how tender that is. You can roll all the way up onto your tricep, and by changing the rotation of my arm, I'm going to change how that feels. Now in rolling, if you're going to come back onto your trunk and lean a little bit further back, you're going to be in that tres major and minor and lining or ridging the scapula, and that may be a little tender as well. Into this nice calm breathing. And now as we get into the pec minor, which is a little bit harder to get into, so if you find where your nipple line is, the pec minor is kind of like right in there, in that tissue, where the pec major is much bigger and wider and fans up over the shoulder. So I like to use the edge of the roller for that. And now you're going to lean forward towards the floor as you move into that pec minor. Tends to be a little bit tighter in various respects. But this is really important because this pec minor kind of pulls all the chest tissues forward. So if it's tight, you're going to notice that in your upper posture. And as you roll through your underarm, kind of noticing your serratus anterior and posterior, which kind of are like fingers underneath your underarm. So all of that being tight kind of pulls everything forward, which is not going to let your arm lift very easily. Okay, feel free to continue to do this as long as you need to, but we're going to flip to the other arm. I'm going to flip over so I can stay facing you guys. Now, when you work with rolling or myofascial release, and you can start on that side, it does not change the length of your muscle. It does not make the stretch happen more easily as far as like lengthening those tissues. But what it does do is it releases the tissues so they can move more freely. And so a good analogy would be, imagine all your muscles and bones in bags, like grocery bags, the ones from Walmart, the really thin, cheap ones, but a lot of bags, bags and bags and bags and bags. And rolling or doing myofascial release helps release the bags from sticking together so that what the contents is in the bags can move back to where it belongs, can move more freely. So your stretching or your strengthening becomes much more effective. So again, this is a complement to your practice, yoga, whatever it is. Okay, if you haven't gone through the underarm carriage onto the actual arm itself, feel free to do that. Again, I change the arm, I change where I lean. I'm going to lean a little bit further back and kind of go up and trace my scapula. And if you hit those points where it kind of takes your breath away, just calm breathing. If you do a lot of overhead upper body work, a lot of weightlifting, definitely need to be releasing those shoulders. And pay attention to how your arms move when you work with the weights. All right, make sure you go through that serratus area and that tres minor and major area. It's kind of like the area where it's like, whew, I didn't know that that was so tight and there were so many adhesions or knots. Okay, if you want to hit the pec, that pec minor, again, you're going to try to use the edge of the roller, probably most effective, especially if you're a woman, you can help move that chest tissue a little bit. And then you're going to roll through that pec minor. Just nice, calm breathing. You'll notice these are not big, exaggerated movements. Doesn't have to be. Okay, feel free, you can continue, you can pause me and then join me when you feel like you've had enough. If not, we're going to come onto our back now and do what I like to call the reverse cobra, or a little bit more of an effective fish pose. Hands come back behind the head. Let's roll out the upper back a couple of times. So we give it a couple good swipes. And if you want to do a couple full back swipes, that's fine. We're kind of focusing on the upper back here. I could keep you here for hours, but I'm not going to. All right, so now drop your hips, and you want the foam roller at about mid-scapula, so the rib cage is going to open. Use your hands to support your head, and slowly drop your head back. Now, if you're super tight and you're maybe more kyphotic or locked forward, your chest muscles are locked short, definitely get a head support. Otherwise, hold your head, or if your head can drop enough where your neck is not in this really violent extension, feel free to drop your head to the floor. So now, pressure is between the shoulder blades, kind of mid-scapula. Arms come overhead. Pay attention to which arm drops and which arm doesn't. And just nice, mindful breathing. Focus on opening the lungs. So if you feel like your cobra looks more like a board being pulled up off the floor, this may be a game changer for you. All right, bring the hands back underneath the head, lift the head, and then grab under the thighs to help you take yourself up off the roller. Great. Okay, so now we've hit the underarm, and I'm also just going to address a little bit today the outside of the arm. So deltoid, bicep tendon, which is kind of the back edge of the arm, which for a lot of people, if you get tennis elbow, this is an area that needs definitely some attention. If you are a yogi and do a lot of chaturanga, and a lot of chaturanga where you're not using your core more effectively, and I do have a great video on how to do plank and chaturanga more effectively, which may change your practice for you. But if you find that either alignment is an issue, you have noodle arms when you work up and down off the floor to push up, this is definitely an area that needs some attention. So roller does a great job. So I'm going to lay onto the side of my arm. What do I do with my bottom arm? Either hold the rib or hold the shoulder, or you can hold the arm with the opposite. And you're going to roll out the outside of the arm. So I'm using my body weight and using a little help of my hip and hand to help roll out that outside edge of the arm. And so my free hand, my top hand, kind of helps so the roller doesn't roll out from under you. And you're going to hit that tendon, which is probably very tender. Nice, calm breathing. I have a 10-month-old at home, so my left arm is always definitely needing a little bit more work, as much as I try to carry him more in the center and with both arms. Doesn't always happen when you're trying to multitask. And you can even lean a little bit more back and kind of get onto, again, the scapula shoulder. All right, let's try the opposite side. So again, I'm just going to flip over. You can turn over if you want. You work at a computer a lot and you have a mouse arm, feel free. Again, this is another really good one to work with. And I can really tell the difference between my left and right arm. If you're working with a soft foam roller, you can work up right over that shoulder. But remember again, the more firm the roller does not always equal the better. Awesome, and then slowly pick yourself up. Great. So we're going to work with a chest opener, our heart opener. Coming to a tabletop position. Think about a dog getting playful. So they kind of bring their arms right out and they swing their tail and hips way up like they're going to get ready to pounce. You're going to do that exact same thing. So walk your hands far enough forward, fold to the elbows, gently turn up. Walk your knees back. Now drape your belly and chest down, chin or forehead to the floor depending. Now if your head is floating, you have a lot of tightness through the upper back. Don't get frustrated. Just bring a pillow or something that your head can rest on that doesn't push your neck up into an unnatural position. And then just keep focusing on sinking into your chest and underarm, focusing on broadening through the upper back. Nice deep breathing. Where people often go wrong in this pose is they try to sit back onto the heels. Now this is not like a child's pose or devotional. This is a hip up pose. Now exhale, drag yourself back. Let your upper body drag back, forehead to the floor. Slowly bring yourself up. Great job. Okay, so we're going to come against the wall. And I'm going to show you just two more moves here. And one is to help open up the pec and help you get from kind of this locked forward position. Hopefully we can start to create some openness so that when we lift the arm, one, we're not hitting that wall, but two, when we lift the arm, we want to be able to have the arm lift without the rib cage lifting. So I do have another really great video, and so feel free, I'll put the link in the comments section or in my description section below. That takes you through the understanding of arm and rib cage relationship and how to kind of differentiate between the two. But for today, we're going to show you a pec stretch. So facing the wall, we'll just do left arm, I'll do the same as you. Comes up shoulder level. I'm going to start turning away from the wall, trying to keep my shoulder rolling into the wall. So when you come off the wall, this part of the shoulder here, kind of the cappy part, is kind of not rolling down or pulling out, but pushing into the wall. So if I'm tight through the bicep deltoid pec, I'm going to notice that it's not going to willingly move into the wall. So less is more here. So you're going to only open as far as you can. Tuck the opposite arm, roll the chest open, and again, lean the shoulder into the wall. Try to stay as upright as you can. Nice, calm breathing. Exhale, turn into the wall, drop the arm. And let's try the same thing on the opposite side. Arm comes up, shoulder moves into the wall. Both of the elbows kind of facing slightly into the wall, more up. Line up your body in Tadasana with one arm tucked back. Draw yourself into an upright position. So the more we're locked forward, this is probably going to be you. And so bring yourself upright, scapula moves down. Tuck the top arm, or the free arm, and open the chest. That might be enough for you. If your Tadasana is turning, make sure the shoulder is staying connected to the wall. You're not taking the shoulder off the wall. So this nice deep breath in, nice deep breath out. Any sort of numbness, tingling, come out, back off, lessen that openness. So nerves being pinched off, your plastic bags inside your body, holding your bones and muscles are a little too stuck together, and maybe a little irritated. And so just take it one step at a time. And then slowly turn into the wall, drop the arm down, give them a good roll. Awesome. So when you're lifting your arms up overhead, really important to always look at sometimes the area that hurts or is kind of impairing us is not always the problem. So in this case, lifting the arm up and you're feeling this brick wall in the upper shoulder, look to the underarm carriage, look to the front chest. It may be pulling you down that once you get to that height, that it can't go any farther, you're going to feel that brick wall. So the goal is to release the brick wall today. So last technique I'm going to show you, we're actually going to use your kitchen sink. But since I'm not at home today, I'm actually going to use my commercial door here in my studio. So we're going to shift a little bit. No sense in cutting the video here for 20 seconds. So I'm going to reset you right by my door. And I'm back again. All right, so if this was my kitchen sink, you're going to hold on to the edge of the kitchen sink, take a couple good steps back, and then relax into your upper body. So try to create space in your underarm. Relax your head. Play with the rotation of the arm as that can change how you feel the restriction. And just nice, calm breathing. You should be feeling a stretch through the underarm. And if you're there, yay. You can play with the hips so you can slightly swing side to side. So you're going to notice pressure changes between the palms, and that's just fine. You can kind of come into a squat. You're going to bring a little bit more weight and pressure. Use gravity to help you create that stretch and openness. This is kind of like a preschool monkey bar. And then bring yourself back up again. So just nice, calm breathing. And then slowly bring yourself up. Awesome. So for many of us, we have not effectively used our upper body the way that we're supposed to. So there's a lot of tenderness and there's a lot of lack of mobility, but also true strength. And part of that is releasing the underarm carriage. So this, just like you would watch your child hang on the monkey bars, my kids do it all the time, they love the monkey bars, they'll even just hang on one arm. They have such a great relationship with their upper body. I never want to disencourage them to use the monkey bars or to hang because it's such an effective tool for our bodies. And since probably for most of your life now, if you're 20, 30, 40, 50, you probably haven't done a lot of hanging. And so your kitchen sink works as a great stepping stool to eventually get into something like a hanging technique. So this will also aid in the ability for you to lift your arm overhead and hopefully eliminate that brick wall that you're feeling when you lift your arm. Awesome work today. So if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, feel free, I encourage you to do that. I'm posting videos weekly. I also have a great online course which is in the description section below that you can take to learn more from me directly in your home. I also have a great foam roller and AccuBall manual that takes you through, it's about 112 pages. I'll put the link in the comment section as well. You can go and check that out. If you really like the foam roller stuff we did today and you want to learn more from me, that's definitely going to be a great way to do it. But if you liked this video, you found it was helpful, leave a comment below and let me know. Don't forget to share it with your friends. For more information, again, visit my website, wholecorefitness.com. Until I see you again, happy shoulders. Have a great day. Namaste.